Award for least intimidating villain laugh goes to...
Trion Tower's observation deck stands 215 arch above ground level, providing
Look at the
panoramic
team.
view
Look
of the
at them.
entire capital.
Aren't they beautiful?
Please relax and enjoy the heavenly view.
Now head to the Blacklight District. What's the side quest?
Gotta treat myself every now and then.
Thank you. Thanks a bunch, Van.
Thanks a bunch, Van. Oh god, how is there another quest?
What to do?
Welcome to the Trion Mall.
Someone approached me at the Trion Mall a few weeks ago and asked if I was interested in buying a super cheap T-phone. I said yes, of course. But then I found out that it was all a scam.
And other various shops to peruse.
Please tell me you can do something about this. I'll be waiting at the bulletin board in front of Trion Tower, just in case.
The Boutique, which just opened this year, to sample a
The bullet-
range of
here he
imported
is.
goods from the Liberal Kingdom.
Oh, you Ned, we saw your 4 SPG. Oh, then you must be the Spriggan I've been hearing about. Not really. That's right, although we're actually just filling in for the real one for a bit. Huh? I'll be honest, I was expecting someone a little more shady looking. Glad you're not, though. But you, have I seen you somewhere before, miss? How are they so bad at recognizing women? God. Don't mind me, I'm not actually a Spriggan. I just lend them a hand every now and then. Anyway, would you mind explaining your request in a little more detail? Oh yeah, sorry, let me explain. I guess to put it simply, I was swindled out of Mira. Some guys came up to me saying they had cheap T-phones on sale with just a few stipulations. T-phones? Those are the consumer grade versions of Zephyrs that act as mobile terminals, right? Didn't they start selling them this year? That's right, they've been all the rage since they went on sale. It's supposed to be a top-of-the-line gadget. Up until now, mobile terminals have only been available to people like government officials or people in the guild or the military. But now, even your average Joe can get one. It's like we've stepped into a whole new era. A T-phone is like a status symbol. If you manage to bag one, the whole world will know how classy you are. You sure are passionate about them. Guys, get psyched up about the weirdest things. Well, anyway, that's why I was so excited to head to the Vern store to pick one up. But a single T-phone is pretty expensive. They're like 20,000 Mira. That's way out of my price range, so I was starting to feel pretty bummed. But then when I left the store, these two guys approached me. They showed me flyers for cheap T-phones and said they could hook me up with one for 5,000, with only a few stipulations. When I asked if they could tell me more, they took me to a nearby cafe to talk. So someone came along at just the right time and talked you into what you thought was a good deal. But what were those stipulations you mentioned? Well, the first thing they said was that even though those cheaper T-phones were official products, they got them from a problematic source. HP, I think. They were supposed to be distributed to the members of some institution, but these guys ended up getting them on the down low. On the down low? So what you're saying is they were sold illegally. Sounds like a deep-seated issue, if that's the case. Yeah, but despite that, they told me not to worry because it was all a grey area. But if it did happen to get out to the police or the guild, they would have to stop selling them. So they told me to keep the truth between us. They also told me that if it happened to break on me, I couldn't take it to an official dealer. Those were the two main stipulations they had. They wanted me to sign a contract and everything. It definitely sounds suspicious. I'm guessing you ended up signing anyway. Yeah, I was told they only had a limited supply and they were on a first come, first served basis. I panicked, you know. But the real problem is, what happened next? The T-phone they sold me doesn't even work. It's a complete piece of junk. It doesn't have the camera functionality it's supposed to, and I can't even get a call to connect properly. I see. The very model of a scam. I mean, I do feel a little sorry for you, but you kind of brought this on yourself. So, what do you want us to do about these scam artists? The thought of them getting away with this while I wallow in despair is a big bruise to my ego. And while I do want them to get raked over the coals for this, I really just want you to get all my mirror back. I think you'd get both of your wishes if you reported this to the police. And yet you decided to put out a for SPG request instead. I know what you're trying to say. I get that it's selfish of me. Here I am wanting to get them back for swindling me, yet I'm not willing to accept the consequences of my own mistake. I don't see why it'd be such a big deal. Everybody looks out for number one in the end, right? Except for me, because I always put S first, no matter what. Oh, wait though. Now that we've added a certain doll to the rankings... Oh, brother. Getting back to the matter at hand, this certainly sounds like a request that leans more towards the edge of the law. So, what would the substitute Spriggans like to do about it? I don't mind taking on the job, but... what to do? T-phone fraud. Alright, I understand. We'll take the case. But as far as giving them grief goes, that'll depend on their response to us. You mean it? Oh, thank you. Well, with that settled, I guess I'd better drum up what little motivation I have. So, do you still have the flyer you said they gave you? I've got the T-phone at least. Here, you'll probably need it. I wish I had the flyer, but I actually ended up throwing it away. Well, first things first, let's gather some intel on these guys. Right. They don't seem to be in the area right now, so we should be able to ask around without worrying we'll scare them off. In that case, why don't we head to the Vern store and see if anyone's seen a pair of scammers around? Maybe we should check in with some of the neighbouring shops too. To make sure that those guys aren't selling brand name knockoffs of the other products, right? Exactly, you're so smart, S. It's important that we get a good idea of how widespread their operation is first, although it's likely they're not doing this with anything other than T-phones. If we're worried about other potential knockoffs, the Liberal Boutique seems like it'd be a likely target. After all, they said to stock a famous wine from Liberal. The Grand Chardonnay. Ooh, fancy. A single bottle can get pretty expensive, depending on the year. I see. Guess we better get started then. It's probably for the best that we don't tell people we're investigating swindlers, though. Don't want to cause unnecessary panic. Let's just stick to asking if they know anything about cheap T-phones. Alright, I'll wait around outside the mall until you guys reach out. Don't want to risk running into them again, you know? Sure, we'll let you know what we find.
For SPG time!
For SPG time.
Theater, boutiques, and other various shops to peruse. Welcome to the Treon Mall. Here you'll
Welcome.
find Trion Tower, one of Edith's major landmarks.
Bart.
Do you have a moment?
This lady seems really taken in by this stuff. Guess she's into Orbital hardware. I'll bet she knows something. Excuse me, miss. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions? Nadia and the others told the lady about their investigation into heavily discounted T-phones. Maybe she means like the ones that were on that paper, Mum. Oh, you mean the flyer we got after we left the Vern store? These two men came up to us out of nowhere and started trying to sell us on something. You got a flyer? Is there a chance you still have it on you? No, I tore it up after copying their info down. They kept going on and on about how there was a reason they were able to get their T-phones so cheap. I thought that was a little too suspicious. Suspicious. I refused their offer before they could explain any further. It's too bad about the flyer, but that was probably the smart thing to do. Is there anything else you can remember about them? Now that you mentioned it, they did seem a bit worried about something when we left. Something about not meeting today's quota and her being upset with them. Her. That could be useful information. So, we have two men passing out flyers and trying to talk people into buying these T-phones. And some authority figure they refer to as her. Thank you both. You've been a big help. There was no problem at all. I hope you all find that you're looking for. Yeah, next step. Here we come.
Do you have a moment?
I think she was mentioned in those spriggan notes Van left with us. Must be the one he knows from that incident in Creole Village. I think we even ran into her when we were here last. We're substitute spriggans, we just have a few questions. Swin's group told her about their investigation into heavily discounted T-phones. Cheap T-phones? Sorry, but I haven't heard anything about that. I've never really heard of any of the other employees mention it either, so I doubt they'll know anything. We have a pretty good view of the area from the shop too, but I've never seen anybody putting up flyers or anything like that. You don't say. Sounds like they're being extra careful so they don't get caught. Guess that means they're not amateurs. What about T-phones that don't work? Heard anything about that? Oh, actually, I have heard that recently. That's a bit concerning. Would you care to elaborate? Well, I guess it's not really that big a deal. For most people, the T-phone is their first mobile terminal, A lot of them can't figure out how to use them correctly or have trouble adjusting their settings. And people keep telling them to swipe up on all their apps even though they don't need to. Most of the time they just need a little walkthrough on how to use it, then they're on their way. Even if their T-phone was actually broken, we'd be able to repair it here in the store. Huh, I see. In that case, would you mind taking a look at this T-phone for us? Of course, let's have a look-see. What the hell is this? Huh, what is going on with this thing? Did you find out what's causing the problem? Oh, well, this is actually the first time I've ever seen anything like this. The outer frame is the same as any other T-phone, but the insides are totally different. It's not a T-phone or a Zephyr at all, it's an Enigma. Enigma? Looks like it's had all its combat functions removed. All that's left are the communication functions. Even if it does have communication functions, there's no doubt it'd be difficult for it to connect to today's Orbital network. And since it doesn't have the camera functionality, it's practically nothing compared to an actual T-phone. Our client said something similar too, that this T-phone was a piece of junk. With the Enigma being such an outdated model, they're probably selling for cheap on the black market. So they dressed them up to look like T-phones and started selling them at lower prices. I don't think I quite understand what's going on, but it definitely sounds like bad news. I should probably go report this to my manager. Actually, sorry to ask this of you, but do you mind keeping this between us until we can finish investigating? We can't really give you anything in exchange, but I promise we'll report back once we've got everything straightened out. After that, you can tell everyone and everyone you want. Alright, I guess, I don't mind. I'm at least a little familiar with how a spriggan works. You've been real kind to Lashkar too, so I think I can trust you guys. We really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for being so understanding. Just give us a bit and we'll be back with a full report, okay? Of course, I'll leave it to you then. So, what's our plan now? I think we still need some more intel. Let's see if we can find someone who might know about these two scam artists. The burial shop.
Welcome to the Treon Mall. Here you'll find Treon Tower, one of Edith's major landmarks.
R&M.
You'll also find the Vern store, a movie theater, boutiques,
Anything of interest?
and other various shops to peruse.
I hope you found everything to your liking.
No, I
Drop
did
by
not.
the Vern store if you want to check out the hottest new commodity, the T-phone.
Stardust Cinema.
It's a cutting-edge piece of orbital technology that's lighting Calvard on fire. You won't want to miss it.
Oh, is he tired from walking up the steps?
Welcome to the Liberal Boutique.
Good news, everyone! Mishy has finally made his way to Calvard. Pay him a visit today and make a wishy
One
with
sec.
Mishy.
The mall has a lot of shops carrying high-end goods. We should check and see if any of them are experienced a scam similar to the one with T-phones. Sorry, but could we bother you for a moment? Swin's group told the clerk about the cheap T-phones, then asked if she'd seen anything similar happening with other products. Unfortunately, I don't believe I know much about cheap T-phones, and I haven't heard anything regarding scams on high-end products either. The only product of ours that would be a potential target is our Grand Chardonnay. I don't think we've had any complaints or returns though. I doubt we'd have any reason to worry there. Sounds like this store isn't being targeted then. Yeah, a swing and a miss. But for a silver lining, I guess now we know that there's only one shop that's having issues. Well, now that I think about it, there has been one thing I found concerning. Recently, I've seen a couple of men posting flyers out in front of our store. It all just seems a little suspicious. I notice them sometimes on my lunch break. Can you give us any more details about them? I started seeing the two of them around at the beginning of the year. I haven't seen them today, but they're here pretty much every day from afternoon until evening. I often see the two of them discussing something while snooping around by the Vern store. Well, why didn't you just say that at the beginning? They seem to be handing out the flyers to people on their way out. I assumed they'd been discussing who to target before they leave the store. That's actually some really useful information. Yeah. Wow, you sure are pretty observant for having caught all that. I don't think your average person would think twice about what some guys handing out flyers were up to. On top of that, you're so refined and well spoken, but not quite as stuffy as an aristocrat. Being so detailed oriented, it almost makes me think you used to work as a maid at some place super fancy. Do you always have to do that? You're very perceptive. If you're capable of deducing all that, I assume you must be no ordinary customer either. That's right, when a mystery presents itself, I've got no choice but to solve it. It's all part of my detective saga. Who do you think you're fooling? It's no problem. It's not as though I'm looking to hide it from anyone. When I used to live in Liberal, I worked in a city called Bose. Wait, should I know this person? While there, I was a maid for a gentlewoman who supported me quite graciously. In fact, opening up this shop was her idea in the first place. Oh, really? Oh, now I remember. The mayor of Bose. She had the maid. It sounds like that person you're referring to isn't just any noblewoman. Now that I think about it, isn't the mayor of Bose a young woman? Yeah. I've never been to Liberal before. Maybe I'll think about taking a trip soon. Oh yes, if you have the opportunity, please do. I think it would make a lovely holiday getaway. Okay, I think we've got all the info we need. Let's go. Aye, Captain. Whew, we sure did talk to lots of people. What a productive day. Alright, why don't we pick this up tomorrow and go catch a movie? Let's throw work to the curb and get a little guilty pleasure in for once. You've sure got an interesting sense of humour. Hey, your mouth says interesting, but your eyes say I'm not amused. That's enough goofing off. I think we should start going over everything we've learned so far. To start, we know that the two men who were handing out flyers have been spotted between afternoon and evening. We also know that they were specifically targeting customers they saw expressing interest in T-phones. Then they would sweet talk them into purchasing a cheap T-phone as well as signing their contract. However, the phones themselves are fakes. They're really just modified enigmas. There's also that boss lady that scammers are working under. We're probably going to have to make contact with her sooner or later. Yes, I agree. Which raises the question of how we're supposed to do that. I know we have one good option, but I'm a little reluctant to go down that route. I don't think there's any getting around it, S. Did you two have something in mind? I'm glad you asked. I recommend we deploy Nana and S's Operation Number 18, ma'am, using a decoy to lure the perp out. I see, that would be a good way to probe them for answers. I don't mind doing it if we really have to, it's just... You know how rusty I am, so try to keep the premise from getting too elaborate, okay? Your request has been acknowledged. In fact, I've already got a plan. Blade Lady, you'll be our backup, so I'll want you waiting in the wings not too far away. As for US, maybe we should get some new outfits from that shop over there. I'll put together a look that'll really bring out your eyes. What's wrong with his pink glasses? Oh, S, you're no fun. Should I really be letting them handle this on their own? After that, Swin's group found an appropriate place to wait for the two men to show up. Then, after 10 minutes or so... They didn't get changed. Tee-hee. I'm so happy. It's been far too long since you and I have been on a date, hasn't it? So, what are you going to buy for me today, darling? This is no time to be embarrassed, Swin. Right now, you just need to focus on getting our targets to believe we're a real couple. Well, since the company my father manages is doing so well, I think a little splurging can be arranged. He increased my allowance recently, so I figured why shouldn't I buy something extra special for you, my honey bunny? Oh, that sounds exciting. What are you thinking of getting me? It's something that's been on my mind for a while, actually. Wouldn't it be nice if we could talk to each other anytime we want it? That's why I'm buying us both T-phones. Yay! Oh, darling, you're the sweetest. I have more than a few concerns, but they seem to be doing okay so far. Welcome. Are you shopping for T-phones today? Yes, my girlfriend and I would like to buy a pair. Let's just have a look at the price tag here and... 20,000 mirror each? That's 40,000 mirror for the both of us. It would use up every bit of my allowance. What, do you mean you're not going to buy me a T-phone, darling? I was so excited about it too. I should have known better than expect you to live up to your word. Wait, I promise. I'll get you one, honest. Maybe I can pay in installments. Is that an option? Why, of course, sir. Installments like some kind of poor person? Come on, darling. I thought you were cooler than that. Oh, I'm in a real fix now. Hey, there's a young couple checking out the T-phone section. What are they like? Oh no, definitely not. Wasn't there like an M phone? Easy pickings is putting it lightly. They wanted to buy a set of T-phones, but it looks like they couldn't afford it. Want to start with them for today? Oh, and I was so excited too. You break all your promises. I don't want to go on any more dates if you're just going to lie to me. I'm sorry, honey bunny. Please don't say things like that. I'll get some more allowance from my father the next time he's in a good mood. I swear. My, what a lovely young couple you are. Oh god, they're slimy, aren't they? I think we might just have some info to share that will pique your interest. Well, this is very sudden. What kind of info? What's this? Cheap T-phones now on sale. They're all the rage. That's right, we're offering them at a highly discounted rate to specific customers only. God, you should know it's a scam by that. While one of these incredible devices would normally cost you 20,000 mira, we can offer you the same product for a lowly 5,000 mira. And that should be the second clue. 5,000 mira? No way, they have to be used or defective, right? Not at all. These are genuine, brand new merchandise. However, there is a reason we're able to offer them so cheaply. We'd be happy to explain it to you over tea, if you'd like. What do you say? Just between us, our supply is limited and our inventory is running pretty low. I don't know if you'll get another chance like this. Oh, how lucky for us. Let's listen to what they have to say, darling. Yes, I suppose we should. Looks like we made contact. Keep it up. Anyway, that's the long and short of it. Even though our source is a little in the grey area, it's all completely safe and above board. The only issue we've been having is trying to keep up with demand. Personally, I think it'd be a real waste to let this opportunity slide. So, you interested? We really should buy them, darling. Like he said, there's a limited supply. Having to sign a contract does make me a little nervous, though. Don't worry, it's not your average contract. With all their bells and whistles, the only thing you have to do is keep this all a secret. I can't believe they're this cheap and you still won't buy them. You're such a wuss. Gah. Fine, I've made up my mind. We'll take 2 of them. Wait, actually, we'll take 4 more. We need them for my Honeybun's friends too. That's 6 in total. Are you serious? Come on, man. Keep it down. Of course I'm serious. That's 30,000 mira and I insist on paying in cash. Squeal, you are the best, darling. I love it when you get all spend happy. This is great. That'll make our quota for today. Once we get the contract signed, let's head back and report this to the boss. Soon after, Swin signed the contract they provided and received 6 T-phones in return. Upon saying a quick farewell, the 2 men left Quincy Parlor. I'll go tell them. Oh no. You two handle the rest as discussed. Right. Thanks, Elaine. Do I seriously have to tell them? Well, I thought you were as good as you've ever been. You just need a bit more time in the field. Maybe another couple of dates will fix you up, darling. Please stop. I thought I was going to keel over in embarrassment. Anyway, let's get to inspecting these T-phones. Can you wait just a little longer to switch into work mode? Couldn't you wait? You're right, though. We should be sure these are the same scam T-phones that the client bought. If I remember correctly, the lady at the Vern store turned the part like this, and if the insides look like what we saw back then, we'll know these are enigmas too. Bingo. Looks like he was right. The client was telling the truth after all. Yeah, let's find Elaine and see if we can catch these guys. Swin and Nadia left Quincy Parlor and reached out to Elaine. They let her know that the T-phones really were fakes made using the Enigma. Elaine explained that she was still in the process of tailing the two men. With a plan to meet up, Swin and Nadia boarded the subway and headed toward the Tyrell district. I see you made it. The men are over there. They were whispering about meeting their quota and going back to report to their boss. I was sure they'd be heading back to their hideout. Yeah, and standing out in the open sure isn't much of a hideout. Oh, I guess that means we got to keep following them. Please don't tell me you're going to start complaining again. You two are so pushy. They're on the move. Let's head after them. Follow the two men. If you get too close to the target... Oh, yeah.
Yay! I get to go shopping with Mommy.
Seek out never-before-seen treasures as the curtain unfolds on an all-new adventure. The Adventures of Rockford. Golden Calamity. In theaters now.
Three-Point Heat. Now playing at a theater near you. Take wing and soar above the court, and blaze a trail for those who follow.
No? What news?
God, why do they have to walk so slow? Oh, God.
We embarked on a journey to reclaim what was rightfully ours. The saga of Ravana, the return of the king, now playing.
I've got some delicious ice cream.
A story of blood-stained earth, and of how a young band of soldiers managed to survive for 100 days. Now playing.
Is that them there?
Treasure.
Treasure. Those doors lead to the Tyrell District's waterway. Looks like that's where they're headed. We'll probably get into some scuffles then. I guess I don't mind pitching in to help. Alright, let's corner them before they have a chance to escape. That's how we managed to hit today's quota early. That's an old lady. So with that said, we've been working this area for several days now, right? Think maybe we could take the rest of the day off? Sure, why not? If you've already hit your quota for the day, might as well pack it in, right? But you know what'll happen if you do, don't you? What are you getting at? You're right, it's important I be more straightforward. You see, I have no shortage of others who are willing to put their noses to the grindstone for me. We're sorry, boss, we weren't thinking. We know you've run operations like this all over Zamira. We've got nothing but respect for you. We'll keep working past our quota, so please don't replace us. Is that so? Well, if you're so passionate about it, then I suppose you better get back out there, shouldn't you? Yes, of course. We'd be glad to, ma'am. Whatever you say, ma'am. Sounds like textbook labor exploitation to me. Hey, you're the love-struck schmucks from earlier. You followed us? Yep, that's us. Love-struck schmucks. Now, bow before our romantic chemistry. Stop that. Would it kill you to deny the schmucks bit? We're here on business from a client that you defrauded out of his mirror. What are you, a spriggan or something? I'm surprised I don't recognize your faces. And I see you brought an A-rank bracer along with you. Just what do you intend to do with us? A-rank bracer? I didn't realise it before, but that's Beauty's blade. Damn it, you were working with these two all along. Just so we're clear, I'm not actually here on bracer business. I filmed your entire conversation earlier on my Zephyrs as evidence. We have a client that just wants his mirror back. You know, mirror you swindled him out of. What do you think, Miss Sweet Old Lady? Mind handing it over without a fuss? Every single time. Don't get uppity with me, you little brats. Stalking other people and taking footage of them without their permission? You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. There it is, her world-famous tongue lashing. My ears can't take it. Sheesh, you're loud. And where do you get off lecturing us anyway, you old bat? I'm guessing that means you're not going to agree to our terms then. You think you've won just because you brought an A-rank bracer along with you? I've gone through scenarios like these more times than you can count. You really think I wouldn't be prepared for this? Come out, boys, it's feeding time! She tamed those monsters? I don't think so. Their movement is erratic compared to wild monsters. I bet she just messed with their brains. I remember seeing a report on a similar case in the documentation we got from Van. I think it was about how Zect Arms modified monsters so they could use their shard skills. That's right. I bought these pups from Zect Arms. They're trial-enhanced military monsters. You two, get in here. Teach those damn brats a lesson they won't soon forget. Right, we're on it. Even Beauty's blade is no match for these odds. That might be true, if these were actually just any kids. Hey, it's fine by me if you don't know what they're up against. It just means less effort on our part. At least this saves us some time spent arguing. Let's take them down.
Just try and take me.
Fine, let's play. Come on!
Easy does it.
You can do this.
Come and get me.
Come on!
You can do this.
Come and get me.
Do your worst.
You can do this.
What's the matter? Scared?
Come on!
Easy does it.
You can do this.
What's the matter? Scared?
Easy does it.
Do your worst.
You can do this.
Easy does it.
What's the matter? Scared?
You can do this.
Do your worst.
Come and get me.
You can do this.
Oh, I should do something.
Do your worst.
There! Take this! Keep it up, Nadia!
I'm putting you in charge, Captain Tattle. Sucks to be them. And finish! What the?
No need to be scared.
We'll win! Oh, radiant wings! Knights of Asteria!
Seriously?
I didn't think they'd be so strong. I mean, it makes sense for her, but those kids are a nightmare too. Well, that wasn't much of a fight, so now we just have to decide how to deal with... Come on, you nitwicks. You remember what we planned, right? Right. Got it. What the? You're kidding. They're really going to make her run for it after all that? I've heard that she's known for her speedy getaways. I guess it's true after all. Not that I intend to let her go, of course. Let's move. Right. How come it's just us that got caught? There's no way the boss could be that fast, right? Now, we better see to catching that woman. I suppose I don't mind taking some care of some old biddy. Leave this one to me. I guess those two idiots got themselves captured already. As long as there's still ground between my feet, there'll always be somewhere for me to run. I'll just find another region to hide in until things blow over. I know you really like talking to yourself, lady, but you might want to watch where you're going. The jig is up. Turn yourself in. Damn. Fine, how about this? I'll give your client back all his mirror. In fact, I'll pay his fee for hiring you too. I'll even pay you back for every single mirror of the 30,000 we took from you two. Good deal, huh? We can put this whole thing behind us. That doesn't sound too bad. But unfortunately for you, spriggans aren't in the business of making friends with villains. Plus, I believe our client specifically asked us to give you what for. Swin, Nadia and Elaine took Magissa and the two men they captured back above ground. Magissa was forced to pay back the 30,000 mirror Swin had paid earlier. They then called up their client to help decide how best to deal with the captive counterfeiters. And then they killed her. You guys are really something. I can't believe you even caught the ringleader. Sounds like she's pretty famous for this sort of thing. You fool, hand us over to the police and you'll be found guilty too. That's why I offered to return your mirror in exchange for letting us go. If that's too hard for you to swallow, then you can forget about ever getting a single mirror back from me. What an attitude. You don't feel even the slightest bit regretful, do you? Refunding his mirror wouldn't be enough to absolve you of your crimes, anyhow. I refuse to overlook what you're doing. But given that our client here at the moment, we should probably let him decide how to deal with it. How to deal with them, huh? Any suggestion? We've been well aware of this woman's extensive criminal record for a while now. Getting her off the streets would be the most optimal position. Plus, I'm fairly certain we could talk the police into bringing even more severe charges against her. You can do that? Actually, now that I get a good look at you, aren't you Elaine or Claire? How does it feel to be famous, Blade Lady? Ahem. The real issue is what comes after we turn them in. The Guild is responsible for prioritizing the safety of civilians. It's our duty as bracers. The Guild is responsible for... Given that you were a victim of fraud, we should be able to push that angle to the police. Either way, we'll make sure they understand that you weren't at fault here, Ned, and that you needn't be interrogated. That being said, however, choosing to bring this to the police doesn't guarantee you'll get your money back. Especially considering none of the other victims have filed for damages. Exactly, but keep in mind that this option does mean they'll be punished to the full extent of the law. I see. Though if you're not totally sold on taking them to the police, you do have another choice. Take them to the Treon Mall's security detail. Security detail? Now that you mentioned it, I do remember Valis having some security guards on their payroll. Wait, does that mean their security firm is affiliated with the Marduk company? That's right, let's just say that I've been doing a little research on them lately. You see, Marduk regularly collects new data on criminals so that they can use it to improve their systems. So instead of turning them over to the police, the security team will probably just make use of them back at headquarters. Make use of us? What does that mean? I've heard rumours, but I didn't think Marduk would go that far. If we do go down that route, their security firm will probably compensate us for their negligence. If we go down that route, but if you do give them over to Marduk, they'll be back on the streets once they're done with them. There's a high risk that they'll reoffend. I don't think I can personally recommend that option. Hey, we shouldn't be trying to influence his decision. So those are my options. Guess I have a few things to think over. To be honest, I'd be satisfied with either option. I'm struggling with which one to pick. Mind telling me what you think? You're asking me? Oh, well, I think each approach has their pros and cons. The guild. I kind of think it would be better to send them to the police through the guild. You might not be able to get all your mirror back, but at least they'll face their fair share of consequences. I see. Estelle, then I'll take your advice. Considering everything we've talked about, I'm sure there's plenty of others who fell victim to these con artists. It might be better if they're arrested so that the case can actually be investigated. Well, I say that, but my main reason for deciding to go to the police is because I know I'll be safe from interrogation. Well, I say that, but my main reason, either way, I think you made the right choice. Oh, but the straight and narrow is so boring. You know this ain't the first or even second time I've been to prison, right? You know this isn't the you better be ready when I get out of the slammer, because this Soul Phoenix will rise again. And when that happens, the guild and the police will be right there to douse your fire. Let's head to the guild on Station Street. We can turn them in there. Yeah. And so, Swin's group went to Station Street, where they arrived at the Bracers Guild Edith branch. There they explained the scam involving the T-phones and revealed the footage that Elaine had captured using her Zephyr. Magissa and her accomplices were then handed off to the guild to be summarily dealt with. Phew. I'm glad that's over. Thanks for going to all this trouble for me. Maybe I won't get my mirror back, but I feel loads better about the whole thing. We did nothing of the ordinary, we only did what the guild would do. By the way, it seems they intend to seek out a harsher punishment for the scammers. It's just as I said they would. I'm certain they'll work with the police to make sure none of the victims see any repercussions. Sounds like having the Blade Lady leading the charge helped smooth things over. Yeah, you know, I really think taking the honest path worked out for the best. Of course, I owe you guys the biggest thanks of all. If I hadn't put out the 4 SPG request, I doubt I'd have even considered going to the guild about it. It's no big deal, it's our job after all. Just be careful not to get swindled next time. You kind of come across as an easy mark. Right. I guess I'll try to be more careful. After seeing Ned off, Swin, Nadia and Elaine decided to get back to investigating the Orbital network.
I hope I was of assistance.
Mirror deposit confirmed.
I think I'll give it a try.
That's just a rumor, right?
Let's head out.
Adventure